Hello everyone, it's Evie here, and today I am sharing with you some of my experiences with ghosts. And I have written about this on my website. There are plenty of posts you can read about various experiences that I've had, so I will link that in the description for any of you who are interested in checking it out. And so I wanted to share a couple of stories that I haven't told people much about. I've told maybe one or two people, but I haven't really shared it on my website or anywhere else. Mostly because of fear of sounding like a crazy person. Because sometimes these spirits and these experiences are crazy. Like, even to me, having experienced these things, I just sit there thinking, oh, nobody's going to believe these things. Nobody's going to believe that this actually happened. Um, but they did, and I just really feel like sharing them at the moment. So the first one I want to talk about is H.H. Holmes, which is really awkward to say. Um, but recently I was watching an episode of Ghost Adventures. The moment they're doing this special where they are connecting with the spirits of serial killers. And H.H. Holmes happened to be the first one that they aired. And that really triggered my memory of this experience I had over a year ago. It was maybe June or July of last year. And I was having a nightmare of actually investigating or watching the Ghost Adventures crew investigate, and they were investigating H.H. Holmes. And mind you, this was over a year ago, like June or July of last year, and I had this nightmare. And this is what they were investigating in that nightmare. And so in the dream, suddenly I became aware of my body in my bed. And so I was taken out of the dream state and came back into my body, into awareness of where I was in my home. And I was in sleep paralysis, and I couldn't get out of it, which was scary enough as it was. But then I noticed that my bedroom door opened and closed, which would not have been able to happen because at that time I was always locking my bedroom door before I went to bed. And so the door was locked. It shouldn't have been able to open and shut, but I noticed that it did, and I noticed this figure, this man walking into my bedroom, and he had a hat on and he had a mustache, and I knew that this was H.H. Holmes. Like, there was no doubt about it in my mind, even though, like, I was still in sleep paralysis and I could not move or do anything. It was just like, it was something that I knew. And so he ended up getting very close to me, and I could feel his breath on my neck. And it was just the most terrifying thing, not being able to move and feeling his breath on my neck and everything. And I just kept trying to will him to go away. Just like, I couldn't speak, I couldn't do anything but think. And think I did. I prayed. I was just trying to, like, get him away. Just please get him away from me, get him off of me. And I heard him whisper something, but I can't remember what it was. I mean, this was over a year ago, but I can't remember what he whispered, but I can remember the feel of his breath on my neck. And how creeped out I was. I mean, I was terrified. Like, this was somebody, a known serial killer, and it just in my bedroom and having this terrifying experience. Like, I did not like it at all. But eventually he went away, and I got out of sleep paralysis and immediately got out of bed and checked my bedroom door. And it was still locked. Like, there was no way that door could have opened and shut, but it did. I saw it, and the door was still locked after all was said and done. I went around the apartment and checked, and everything seemed normal. The doors were all locked, and there was no logical explanation for this to be happening. And I'm always able to tell the difference between just dreaming and like having a bad nightmare and being conscious in my dreams. And I was definitely conscious at that moment. I was in my body, just in sleep paralysis. So it was definitely an experience as opposed to just like this completely awful nightmare. Even though it was a nightmare of an experience, it was still an experience. And it just sounds so crazy to me because who has encounters like that? I mean, we hear about stuff like that on TV and movies or like urban legends, but to actually experience one is crazy and terrifying. Um, so that was that experience. Another one is after I moved. So I recently moved, and the first few nights I spent in this new apartment, I started having experiences of like flashes of what once was in this building, like people who used to live here or something. I can't really explain it, and I don't understand it all that much. I think this building I live in now used to be the site of the first linens and things. Not that I think anything went tragically wrong, not that I'm aware of. I'm not aware of any deaths in this apartment or anything, but I I was experiencing a lot of spirit activity when I first moved in here the first few nights. I would lay in bed and try to fall asleep, but couldn't because I was hearing all of these voices, and it wasn't voices from outside. I live on a busy street, so I can hear voices from outside sometimes, and I can tell the difference between what's coming from outside and what isn't. Um, so I was just hearing these voices and like seeing these scenarios play out, and it was really crazy. And I'm not entirely sure what it was I was seeing. Um, but I just know that I was seeing something, I was experiencing something. So I decided to sage the entire apartment because I was not going to sleep well ever if I didn't do that. So I cleansed the apartment and haven't had those experiences since. Um, so I'm happy for that I'm not really dealing with seeing these spirits all the time anymore. But those are a couple of my experiences. I've had plenty more. Like I said before, I think I said it before. I've been having encounters with spirits since my childhood. So a lot of experiences just go unshared. Some of them I have shared on my website. Um, but I definitely want to hear from you. Do you believe in ghosts, or have you had your own encounters with spirits? Let me know, and I will see you all next time. Bye!